How you doing, everybody? It's February the 11th 2010, and it's what time? It's 8:30 in the evening. And before I start anything, I just want to say a couple of things very briefly. I just want to thank everybody for all the energy and effort that they've put into the comments and the responses over the last couple of little postings that I made. Some of them are just fantastic, and I just want to thank everybody for doing them. Hopefully I'll get around to answer some of them. I don't know whether or not I'll get around to answering all of them, because I don't think there's enough hours in the day, because some of them I have to think for a half an hour before I even make a response. So just, I just want to acknowledge that people are responding to the forum concept, alright, because that's what this is all about. I'm not selling anything or any of that stuff, okay? I don't have any books or CDs to sell, or I'm not about that. I just want to provoke people to think, to question things, alright? And when ideas come up, twirl them over in their mind and try and rationalise them out, and draw some sort of truth out of them. That's all. So that's really all I want to say. The other thing I want to say is I want to thank lots of people who have subscribed over the last couple of weeks. I really do. And as I say, I obviously want to thank them, but the main people that I want to thank are the people that post the comments, because this is what this is all about. This is all about to and fro and exchanging ideas, and somebody posed a question, and out of it you get 20 or 30 comments, and you get a big macro view, you get a big overview of what people think, and I think it's powerful. I think it's absolutely powerful. Anyway, to get down to more mundane matters, listen, I'm going to put two articles up, and they're both from the same paper. They're both from this English Daily Mail. Now, the only reason why I look at it is because it's very, very cheap to buy. Okay, that's number one. It costs €1. That's number one, okay? And when I'm out and about working, I buy it because some of the commentators that they have in it are very forthright and irreverent towards Ireland, and that's what I like. I don't like media brown nosers or anybody. You know where I come from, okay? So I wouldn't agree with the politics. A lot of these guys are fairly right wing, and I wouldn't agree with their politics. But sometimes they do develop and hint at a lot of truth in their articles, and I want to talk about they're just two straightforward articles. The first one, I'm going to put it up now. This is it here. It's a small article on the inside page, and it tells you that fears for 4,000 jobs in bank sector. So we've already had, in the earlier part of the week and the latter over the weekend, we've already had Halifax announcing that that's Royal Bank of Scotland people. There are 750 jobs are gone out of that bank sector, and I haven't had a chance to talk to him, but I'm going to do it. I have a neighbour who works in the Bank of Ireland. He has a lowly job in the Bank of Ireland. He's a clerk, an ordinary guy, doles out the money at the front desk type thing, and I'm going to ask him what the word is on the street inside the Bank of Ireland. So hopefully he'll be able to tell me. And but they're talking between 4,000 and 5,000 jobs between Bank of Ireland and Allied Irish Banks. And as I said, that's obvious. I mean, I told you, massive credit constriction. Alright, banks not giving out money. The NAMA thing as a whole, tobacco, not to do with giving out money or anything else, not to do with that. Alright, this is just to save the banks. This is just to rescue the banks from total oblivion. The NAMA thing is, alright, nothing to do with giving out money to people. It's a load of balls, okay? But they're talking about between now and the end of the year, between 4,000 and 5,000 people they're going to cut back, these two banks. So it'd probably be more like 5,000. Alright, because that's the way I see it. Okay, so we live in extraordinary times. I mean, if we didn't have the safety valve of immigration, I don't know what would go on. But anyway, the final article is a I think it's a fascinating article. It's written by this fella Richard Waghorn. And he's a young lad. He's a political stroke economic commentator in this paper, and I've had to cut off to fit it in. I've had to cut off the headline of it, so I'm going to put it up now. And you can read it there. And basically the headline is, if we don't act fast, we'll end up with our own Greek tragedy. And he basically draws out the figures, which if you read through the article you'll see, and basically says that the Greek state debt is 300 billion. at the moment, and their GDP's around about, I've looked it up, their GDP's around about 250 billion. Okay, and in comparison with Ireland, our state debt at the end of this year will be 150 billion. That's what it's going to be at the end of this year when we include the NAMA money. We're getting 54 billion if the Europeans give it to us. Alright, they're supposed to be giving to us now, and our GDP is 168 billion by the estimates of the Central Statistics Office. So we're very much in the same sort of league. We're just behind Greece, really. Okay, and what's happening to Greece now will be happening to us in about a year's time. Alright, but one of the key issues that he draws up, if you look down, you can read down the columns, and if you see one of the headlines, it says crisis, and I want to read it out to you just. Alright, and it tells you, even if help were offered, the sheer extent of the foreign intervention that comes with it, thanks to a little notice clause of the Lisbon Treaty that the Greeks are learning about the hard way, means that anyone receiving a bailout effectively becomes a protectorate of the EU, in the words of one analyst this week. And I read that in the Lisbon Treaty. Now I don't know whether or not they worded it on those terms, said it was a protectorate, but basically what happens is they take over your sovereignty until the debt's paid off. In other words, they're going to underwrite Greece. They're probably going to underwrite Greece so that Greece can raise the money on the bond markets. Okay, but until the debt is paid back to the bond markets, Greece's whole economic stroke political policy will be decided in Brussels, and that's what we've got to look forward to. That's what we're going to become. I always say that once we join Europe, we would become like a little benign protectorate. That's what we're going to become. They'll come in and pat us in the head. You do what you're told, you little people. That's exactly what's going to happen, and we'll be the playground. They'll all come here and they'll go on nice walks. Nobody in this place, you see. Big deserted island. Imagine that, a big deserted island on the edge of the west of the west of Europe. Nobody in it. 4.5 million people. All right. You think of the island across the road from us. If you take off Scotland and you take off Wales, we're basically the same size as England. 58 million people in England. 4.5 million here. Right. They'll come here. They'll go and walk on holidays. They'll play golf. They'll do a lot of fishing. They'll walk around the places, I say. They'll go out to what do you call it at night, shindigs at night and all that, and we'll have leprechauns in the garden for them and everything else. That'll be it. That'll be our lot. That's the future that I see for us with Europe. And big multinationals will be in here. This will be like a clearing ground for them, for all their shenanigans that they want to do. They can repatriate all the money they like out of here back, like they do at the minute. That's what we'll be. We'll end up like a little benign protectorate. The European conquistadores. That's how they'll view Ireland. Anyway, we'll talk more.